Well, I wanted to finish that. This is the third tape, and I'm going to try to put one, two, and three on if you care to listen to it. Anyway, when I left out at North Creek Campground, Jefferson National Forest, Arcadia, Buchanan, Botetourt County, it's in the National Forest, Jefferson National Forest. It's a 16 site, beautiful place, got a creek right by it. It should be absolutely, you go out there to get fresh air, right? Or you rent a place or you buy a home, you want clean air. So this is how they've run me, and I've put that on before and why and who's doing it. Larry Flint endorsed me because I'd written a book 76 to April Fool Day of 80 when they put antifreeze in me. I'd written the book about mind control murders, and Dr. Warren and Rosina Matthews were one. They were forensic pathologists at Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, and Larry McDonald was U.S. Congressman, urologist. Piedmont's where he had practiced. And his plane goes down. I had written about him in the book, and all that happened to me. I thought it was because of the book. And part of it was the cases, but then I found out about being kidnapped and brought to this country. And Lina Dempsey had twins. Peggy Ann Dempsey married, and I married a Childers. That's the name I have to use. She had twins, Peggy and Carl, and she murdered them. They were born out of wedlock, and the family covered it up. And here I go in late '83 after the campaign and find out, and the Brits told me. So I found out, I'm leaving out all the rest, and found out in '86 after I'd come to Roanoke that I had an immune disorder. This is not what that I'd never been properly diagnosed or anything. In fact, if the truth's ever told about the past, is so sick and ugly what was done to me and my family here in this country, in plain sight. I want to express or exclamation point to that. In plain sight, every step of the way, it's quite unbelievable. You can get people when they think that they're not going to have to pay for the crime, what they'll do. But anyway, I'm allergic to chemicals. I have an immune disorder, and when I inhale chemicals, my immune system attacks itself. It makes me so sick. The inflammation is so horrible, and there's no medicine. You have to get away from the smell or the fumes. So if it's in your home, and most people could either move or correct it. I can't. That's how they run me. And I'm quoted Carl Barton, retired Virginia State Trooper, his wife, Linda, on August the 14th of '09, said that to me. This is how we run you. They've made my word no good, even though everybody around here knows it. It's kind of a joke that it's been done to me. It's the most hideous that can be thought of. It's terrorism at the top level, and it's because of who I am. I'm threatened with locking me up. Well, they locked me up for living in the forest. So you got, and that was meant to be, orchestrated too. It's what it corresponded with, but I'm getting away from what I was saying. Over the years, it's torn my body apart. The inflammation, my veins in my legs, my liver, my kidneys, my lungs. Right now, it's really the last month and a half gotten my kidneys so bad, and my lungs too. You can have strokes, but I wanted to get into this last few weeks. I had to leave again and go back out to North Creek. And I've been out there in March, and the people there that were hosts, this is just a little 16 site. It should be beautiful. It's got the creek and all that. Way out in the forest near Arcadia, Buchanan, near Roanoke. And I go out there to get fresh air and have to pay a cab to get out there. And I get out there, and they have this home on wheels. and it's beautiful. 200,000, I would think they had to pay. What they did the time before in March was they used formaldehyde, which was used on me in the past by Archie and some others that were hosts out there that were local from Buchanan. Now then, these people, I'm not sure, they told me they were from Fincastle and Botetourt. I'm not sure who they were. They told me different stories. But it's a mobile home that's absolutely beautiful on wheels, expensive. They burn formaldehyde, and I know formaldehyde, you can't get by me on that one. The reaction my body has, it would kill me. And the damage done to me over the years, in these last 2 months, has really gotten to me. So this last time, that was March, first time this year that this couple did it to me. They were still there, of course, when I went back. I was run back for the same reason, from one place to the other. It's such a hideous nightmare. And I got out there, and I didn't stay but 3 nights, and the formaldehyde and all of it was used again, and I was just dying. So I had to call a cab, and I came back, and I went to a place on Mountain Pass Road here where I had actually lived on the old trail going up to Full Heart Knob over the years, and they would come out to my campsite and spray in the middle of the night, things that made me so sick you can't believe. So anyway, I hadn't been back there since '08, I believe. When I came back from North Creek this time, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, the woman actually told me out there, the host, they also told me he inferred that he was CIA. I don't know about her. Supposedly she was his wife. But anyway, my kidneys and everything, what was being done to me and the damage over the year. And remember, you have to breathe. What they do is permeates my air that I breathe and causes inflammation and horrifying effects to my every organ in my body. So they're killing me. So anyway, this last time, couple of weeks when I left, it was so bad I only stayed 3 nights in hell, and there's hardly anybody out there. And they were burning it right in front. Their home has a wonderful air conditioning, so they don't get the effects of it, even though it's sitting right there and they're burning it. Anyway, she said to me before I left, she said, "Where are you going now?" And she used the word Trish. Well, Trish is an important name into where I was going on Mountain Pass Road. And it had been since '08 since I'd been there. And it was a little place back up, and now that I can't walk, I have a stick, walking cane, and I didn't think I could even unload or pull anything, my tent and sleeping bag and all food. Well, so this woman knew where I was going, the host, whether they're CIA or not, because Trish was very important to that spot, and she lived nearby, the name. So I got there, and, I was so desperate to get to where I could breathe. Well, I'm going to make it short. I only got it, and there's no water up there. I only got it a short space and had to try to put it up. And let me remind you, I can hardly walk, and I was so sick, and my kidneys. The next day, I thought I'm going to have to move. If anybody comes up the trail, they're going to complain. Hadn't gotten very far, pulling one bag at a time. Some man come up there with his 2 chihuahuas and said, "You're in the middle of the trail." Well, I remember the people around there, the Crawfords and the people, and I'm not going to name one of the other names. I know that he has a home there, and he fenced it all in. I know his father, years ago, I didn't bother any of them. There was a few times over the years I asked for food because I was shut down. And his father and his mother, they live next door, so he'll know who I'm talking about. Of course they will. They told me to come back the next day, and they would give me a little food. And I'm having to walk down this long trail in the hot sun, and later I was down close to the bottom, which is where I was going now, what I'm talking about. Anyway, when I got back the next day to this father and mother that has a farm right next door to the old trail